DJ Ganyani's birthday celebration, where it all started. It's more than just an annual gathering. It's a homecoming. It's a return to the roots. It's the music. It's the people who made it all possible. And it's also a chance to reconnect with the past, to relive the moments that defined a sound. And then, of course, just to honor the legacy of those who paved the way. So as one of South Africa's pioneering house DJs, DJ Ganyani helped shape the sound of a generation. And he actually joins us now virtually to chat a little bit further. DJ Ganyani, a very good morning and thank you for joining us. A hearty congratulations. What a life, what a legacy.
Good morning, everyone, and your viewers as well, and compliments of the new season, and thanks for having me.
Wow, compliments of the season to you too. I mean, we're looking at all things celebratory. It's your birthday, but I mean, where it all started, the celebration, what inspired you to go back, really look at the milestones along the way. Tell us how this all came to be, why it's so important for you this time round.
Look, this is what happened. In the beginning of my DJ career, gigs were not coming by as anticipated. So I think it was back in, I think it was about 30 years, more than 30 years ago. So we decided, to host our own event, just to keep ourselves busy. It's something that we did, I think, for over 30 years. But there were times when I got so busy, I couldn't do it, But because there was a growing demand, from the guys in Soweto, they wanted me to bring it back. So 2 years ago, I think it was in 2024, we hosted one in Jan, and last year we did the same thing, which was a huge success. So this is going to be a third year now doing it, and then hence we call it taking it back where it all started.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get into that because, I mean, the significance of visiting the cassette tape era, the vinyl era, Soweto itself as a place, I mean, influencing your music and the way you approach DJing. Tell us a little bit more about those experiences for you.
So, in 1986, if I'm not mistaken, my mom sent me to a boarding school in Ganyani, called Shingwedzi High School. Back then, we used to play, cassettes. We never had CDs or vinyls. So what happened is I would play the music that I collected back home in Soweto. And then I met this gentleman, his name is Lloyd. He's now popular known as Dos Santos. He was playing, this kind of music, which was a bit different from the stuff that I used to play. So, but me being shy, it was difficult for me, to join them. So what happened is when I played my collection as well, he was also interested. So we exchanged that music. So, during school holidays, I will come back home in Soweto. And when I'm preparing my garden, I will play that kind of music. Only to find that my neighbor was interested in the music that I was playing. So when he had a stock fair, he invited me to come and play at his stock fair. And with stock fairs, you've got stock fair members. So some of the stock fair members were taxi owners, some of them were tavern owners and shebins. So that is how that is how it happened. So when I played the music, some of them were also interested, to book me for their stock fairs as well. But the most interesting thing is the shebin owners as well as the taxi owners also wanted that music for their kumbis and so forth. Do you understand?
Yes.
So they asked me, to try and, give them that kind of music. That is how it started. And back then I was not even aware that it was illegal, So what I did is I reproduced, some cassettes and sold them to these people. And that is how it started.
Well, I mean, even if we're just looking at that history, you play a pivotal role in South Africa's history itself. And I mean, musically, some of the songs, some of the tracks, what can people expect? I'm asking this because we're obviously looking at how South Africa's performing in the international stage, and you've also traveled the world over. So you've been influenced by other countries, but you've also seen how our sounds have been received. What has that also taught you about our own musical journey as a nation and in your own career?
Music is universal. Music has no color. Music has no race. Do you understand? It's for me. It's just a love language. You will never believe how our music is received in other countries. Besides back here at home, And my message to fellow South African artists and DJs is to make sure that we release a lot of music, we export most of our music, and make sure that we also play outside of the country.
Because it's also about innovation and keeping up. And I mean, since you started, looking at the tempo, you're looking at the evolution, the other genres that have also spun out as a result of what you've pioneered. What are your thoughts on that evolution as well? How do we also continue to balance that innovation, but also keep the nostalgic moments as well? That's true to us.
That's a good one. It hasn't been easy,
Yeah.
if you still remember, in the beginning, yes, in the beginning, like for me, for example, I used to play a lot of funk music, jazz, a bit of jazz, a bit of fusion, because of my introduction to what we used to call international music, international disco, I had to adapt, So what is important is if you look at in our era, where we started with tapes, then CDs, and then we're playing with vinyls as well. The music that we play now and the music that we used to play back then, it's different. So what is important is for one to be able to adapt, to the changes in the industry. In recent times, we now have amapiano.
Yes.
We also have three steps, and at some stage, we had, drum-driven music. But in Gauteng, it has always been that soulful stuff, something that is musical. So, hey, it's been a bit of, an evolution, from where we were to where we are today.
Yeah, and I mean that journey continues as well because you didn't come alone. There are so many people that you've collaborated with, that you've worked with, that have helped you both, at the fore, but also behind the scenes as well. And so if we're looking at the celebration, who are some of those artists that you are excited to share with the stage with?
Well, I just don't want this annual event, to be about the artists that are on the lineup as well as the DJs. I just
Okay.
want it to be about the DJ Ganyani event, because it is part of my birthday celebration. My birthday is on the 19th of January.
Yes.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't celebrate it on the 19th because of it falls on a Monday. So I'm going to do it on a Sunday, on a chill day. So I just want, the event to be all about the music, DJ Ganyani's birthday celebration, and then that's all.
Okay, well, we're wishing you a happy birthday ahead of the 19th of January as well. I mean, something that we also know about you is that you've managed to stay grounded and humble. I wonder if you can tell us a little bit more about how you've managed that after decades. I mean, given the industry, given the infrastructure, the lack thereof, the what you're called, what you're not called, what's that journey been like for you personally as well?
It's been challenging, to be
Okay.
honest. Remember, in the beginning of my DJ career, it was just, to DJ. That's it. You get booked, you have your own sound system, you go play. And then, along the way, you develop other interests, and I developed an interest of producing my own music, something that will come from Ganyani Entertainment, and you look at some of my hit tracks, they were done with relatively unknown artists. So what kept me grounded is being, born and bred in Soweto, in Midlands, Soweto. You've got a lot of youngsters, who are also interested in being in the music industry. So you'll get most of the guys, paying me a visit at home. Some, because of social media, they will inbox me. But what I did was um, I've always given, up and coming talent, an opportunity to express themselves because, these guys are so creative. And when you fuse, that creativity as well as with your experience, success will always come out. So what I've done is to keep myself, in the industry and to keep myself grounded and more relevant. I have done some collaborations, with young upcoming talent as well as artists.
And I mean, to your point, you sent the elevator back down. You've ensured that there are people that are going to continue long after, you decide to stop, or if you transition as well. The music of business, it's something that you also then had to dabble in and balance as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about the successes on that front? But even if we're looking at what we're not getting right in a country at this point, where do you think we still need to fine tune?
Look, I think you've mentioned something important. The music business, and I think we've seen, some of the tensions that are there between artists, producers, vocalists, because of some royalties and things like those. And I think the cause of the problem is the music business, the music business, the knowledge of what you're getting yourself into when you sign an artist agreement. So I think those are some of the things that we need to work on, because of it really causes tensions, between major labels as well as indie labels with artists. But musically, I think we've got talent, in this country. And when it comes to vocalists, I think we excel on that one. But we still need to identify a lot of songwriters. I think there's a bit of a lack of songwriters in the country. I think that is one of the parts that we need to work on. But when it comes to vocalists, yeah, we are so talented. We've got a lot of talented vocalists in this country.
All right. So, well, I mean, you've spoken, you've imparted your wise words, you live your legacy and your love as well for music. Thank you for your service. I think we can drop the mic now. Happy birthday in advance. We'll catch you on the ahead of that celebration, of course, where it all started. Thank you for joining us at this hour, DJ Ganyani, just chatting to us about that celebration. It is looking at his life, his legacy, and of course, ahead of his birthday come the 19th of January.